After the devastation of World War II, a new world order began to emerge. European empires, weakened by the war, faced growing demands for independence from their colonies. Across Asia and Africa, nationalist movements gained momentum, fueled by the promise of self-determination. India, led by Mahatma Gandhi, achieved independence from British rule in 1947. Other nations soon followed, throwing off the shackles of colonialism. This wave of decolonization had a profound impact on domestic policies. Newly independent nations grappled with the challenges of building their own governments, economies, and institutions. For many, the transition was turbulent, marked by political instability and economic hardship. The struggle for independence had come at a cost, and the path forward was uncertain. For ordinary people, decolonization brought both hope and uncertainty. The end of colonial rule promised freedom and equality, but it also brought new challenges. Many faced discrimination and violence as former colonial powers clung to power. The struggle for true independence, it seemed, was far from over. The dismantling of empires reshaped the global political landscape. It paved the way for the rise of new nations and the emergence of a multipolar world, where power was no longer concentrated in the hands of a few. But it also created new tensions and rivalries, setting the stage for the Cold War. As the world emerged from the ashes of World War II, a new conflict began to take shape. The United States and the Soviet Union, once allies against Nazi Germany, found themselves locked in an ideological struggle for global dominance. The fight against communism became a defining feature of American foreign policy, shaping its actions on the world stage. Soviet leader the Soviet Union, led by Joseph Stalin, sought to expand its influence in Eastern Europe, installing communist regimes in countries like Poland, Hungary, and Czechoslovakia. This expansion alarmed the West, which feared the spread of communism and the Soviet Union's growing military might. In 1949, the Soviet Union successfully tested its first atomic bomb, shattering America's monopoly on nuclear weapons and intensifying fears of a nuclear war. The Cold War was a global conflict, fought on multiple fronts. In Europe, the continent was divided by the Iron Curtain, a metaphorical barrier separating the communist East from the democratic West. Both sides maintained large military forces, prepared for a conflict that could escalate into nuclear war at any moment. The Cold War also played out in proxy wars in Korea, Vietnam, and other parts of the world. The US and the Soviet Union supported opposing sides in these conflicts, providing military and economic aid to further their own interests. These proxy wars often resulted in devastating consequences for the countries involved, leaving a legacy of conflict and instability.